right, so what's going on, everybody? I'm just here fiddling around with this chord progression. I think it was from I think it's from one of Mary's old albums. It was a collab that they did with Van Hammond. But I wanted to share something real quick about how to, start off simple and then start to kind of branch out and then create variations. So, as a matter of fact, I'm gonna just start the beat real quick. So, all right. So, what I'm doing there is I'm not doing too much rhythmically, right? Because I find that when you start to use a lot of like rhythm in terms of like the amount of notes or the amount of notes that you're playing in terms of making it a little bit more busy, I find that it takes away from the mood. So if you just play like more like whole notes, so something like this, like doing something like that, just kind of let it breathe. Right? So creating that space already, it already sets a vibe. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's not about the notes that you're playing too, because you can get away with notes, underneath the top notes that you're playing. So like for example, I'm just playing this. So right? Right? So the top note, I'm just playing this. Right? That's all I'm playing. And just build around it. Right? Right? So I can make things sound more interesting, adding notes underneath it and creating like some small counter lines that won't take away from the vibe, but it'll just add a little more like flavor to what's happening. So like I could do something like this. Right? So notice how the vibe is still kind of there, but there are notes underneath that I'm using to kind of create some type of tension. All right. And then after a while, you can kind of open up a little bit, right? So the key thing in all of this is discipline and just knowing when to do what, right? Because when you're playing, you don't want it to get to a point where, you know, people are tired of hearing you. Like, you want to just have your certain spot set up. So like, you could do something like this. So you can start to add, you know, and just come right back into the pocket. So now I'm really starting to open up. And then I'm starting to open up rhythmic too. I'm becoming more aggressive. And then you can also play with the time also to kind of create a different kind of texture. Right? Those inner lines that I'm playing can kind of play with the time too. Right? So right there, what I did was I just did because I've been playing this chord a lot, that F7 there, right? Because the listener got accustomed to hearing this, I opened up and did this, right? But the secret here is that I just played like a blues lick on the the D major chord. So like, right, and then I could just resolve, right? So. Alright, so like this chord. So I just did the move on this. Alright? But again, that inner movement thing is still happening there. So like I'm holding the A. And then alright? So I'm gonna try to open up some more. So what I did there was I just did a version of this. So it's like an E flat minor chord, and I just did it play up a whole step, right? And then I take that pattern and I do it up a minor third, right? Do it again. So that move a whole bunch of other ways, but it's the rhythm that's what makes the idea of what it is. So you can play it straight, right? You do that, or you can kind of like lag. So like somebody, I'll do it again. So I can take my time, like but at the, after even doing all that, it's important to get back to here, because that vibe still needs to be there. So now I'm just kind of opening up a little bit there rhythmically. I think I'm going to add some left hand bass to this. So notice that when I'm playing the bass with my left, right, my right hand is patting a lot more. And the reason why I'm doing that is because I want everything to still sound like full, and I don't want there to be any like gaps of space. And again, the best way to do that is just by using the whole notes, just holding down the chord and padding. Because it's all about creating the vibe. While my right hand is padding, my left hand is doing all the work. All right, so I guess the main thing in all of this is just to make sure that you just start off simple. Just set everything up, and then when you feel like there's an opportunity to open up, then open up, but don't give away too much, because if you do, you have nowhere else to go. Let me see what's going on here. Thanks, Don. Marcel, what's up, man? Oh, brother John, what's up, man? Javon, what's good, man? Siobhan, what's going on? Thank you so much. You know what? Since I have, some people on or whatever, if you have any questions, y'all can ask whatever questions y'all want. Or if you want to share the live too, you can go ahead and do that if you want. Nothing much, just here to learn. All right, cool. Let's see. What else can I share? Uh, let's see. So like knowing, I guess one thing I can share too is learning how to voice your chords, and how to make them full. So let's see. So one thing that I like to do when it comes to learning chords is I'm thinking about what chords, what if I have a note, for example, what chords do I know to have this note in it, right? Right. So even with that chord progression, that note F right here, yeah. I still have chords that could match with it. You know what I'm saying? So I start off with like triads, right? So I start off with major, minor. I go, let's see, it's F major, F minor, B flat major, B flat minor. Let's see, B flat major 7, B flat minor 7, right? But then I also think about other chords that have like, chords like this. So like this is like a G minor 7, A flat down, A flat sus, E flat minor, C sharp major, is that C half diminished, F F7 with the sharp 9, right? And I play around with like different notes and stuff and create colors. So like if I'm playing like this chord here, right? So it's what is that, a B flat minor 7 chord, right? I change notes around just to kind of trying to get like a different kind of color. So like, okay, let's see. How could I spice up a hymn like "Great Is Thy Faithfulness"? Meaning, how do I add flavor? My version sounds kind of empty, especially between the verse and the chorus. Okay. All right. So one way to spice up. Hold on a second. Where's my iPad? All right. So one way to spice up, any song, is to think about it like this. Let's see if my iPad is working. I'm gonna write it down so I can do like a diagram real quick. Oh, hold on. Oops, that wasn't it. Let's try that again. Let's try it one more time. Let's try it one more time. See if it works. Let's see if it works. Ah, there we go. So, all right. Okay, so I'm gonna do great is thy faithfulness in C sharp, right? I think about, the song like this. Like I think about it like it's a waffle, right? So this whole thing is C sharp. A C sharp major. That's the key. This is the song. this is the key that it's in. Each one of these chords, each one of the squares that are in the waffle are like the chords, right? So to spice things up, I can take any one of these squares and then I'll make that like the main key for the quick moment and then build chord progressions around it, right? So, all right, so let's take the first chord. The first chord is C sharp. Great is thy faithfulness, right? Depending on how you play it, you can either go to the 4 or go to the 2, right? So it could be something like, right? You can go to the 2, right? Let's go to the 2, right? You can go straight to the 2, you can go straight to the 2, which will work, right? But a good starting point is, let's see, E flat, right? I think about, all right, what's the 5, right? What's the 5? So if I'm in the key of E flat, the 5 is B flat, right? So that means that I can play, this keeps, I don't know why it keeps doing that. That's funny. So the 5 would be B flat. There we go. So this is what it would sound like, right? We're gonna start off really basic first. So right? So right? So I mean that sounds, it's going somewhere, right? So you can also do something like this. So with the 5, you can go straight dominant or you can like suspend it. Right? Right? So and then it becomes a suspended 7 chord on B flat, and then B flat dominant 7 with the flat 9. Right? Now, that's the starting point. Once we get that starting point, we want to start opening up and start finding different passing chords to get from one place to another. Right? So this is where the bass kind of comes in. You can kind of change the bass around a little bit, right? So, right? Then you can go diminished, right? Now you could do the diminished there because if you play, right? You play that chord here. If you take the B flat off, it's a diminished chord. It's a D diminished chord. Right? So that's another step you can take in terms of making your changes sound, really, really full and sweet. Another thing that you can do is again, like, I guess it's another set of passing chords. So and I'll get, as a matter of fact, I'll say this. So like, since I'm on that F, the F in the melody, I'm staying on that note for a pretty long time. Like you can kind of mess around with some changes there too. So you can do something like this. Oops. Right? So what I did there was, right? Right? So you can do something like that. Now, another thing that you can do, and this is after you set it up, playing it like straight or, without any crazy changes, you can start to put like chord substitutions. Right? So, let's see. Let's go back to the screen here real quick. So, okay. So let's say, all right. So we're going to that E flat, right? B flat is the what we're looking at here, right? Now I have, in the B flat major chord, I have B flat, D, and F, right? Now, this is just more than a chord here. Like each one of these notes is a possible bass note that I can use to substitute, you know, as a, I can use it as a substitute to get to the E flat minor or the two, right? So I could do something like this. So see, we did that, right? But we can also make it like a major. So like you do that, right? So right, you could do that, or we could use F, right? We could do that too, right? Now remember how I started saying that we could talk about going to the four. This chord here, right? You could do this, right? Right? So pretty much what I'm saying here is that um don't just look at your don't just look at your chords as just chords. Like each one of those notes are like options to go in and out of certain changes, you know? But always keep in mind though that the melody note is like the priority. That's like the top thing. You can't really mess with that. And once you build everything around the note and the melody, like everything else is like fair game. So like, um, let's see. Let's play with another. Let's see. Right. So let's see. Let's try something here. Um, right. So right. Now I'm completely like outside of what's going on. So like, so again, I'm thinking right here, I have F in the melody, but I'm like, all right, I know F major, I could use that, but I could use an inversion, right? Right. So right. So knowing your inversions and the different way to play all the chords is what's going to open up the floodgates in terms of harmony, right? So right, now there I'm just kind of going off on a tangent, but keep in mind that I'm still playing the melody and it still recognizes me. So so let's see. Again, that's just going off of chords that I already know. What also makes things interesting in terms of the harmonies playing like these inner lines, and you get that from if you can get like your hands on any kind of like hymn book and stuff, um, you can see like it has soprano, alto, tenor, bass, right? Because it's only like four notes in the chord. So let's see, right? I believe in the hymn book, it's like something like that, right? So that's the other thing. Let me go back to the white screen here, the whiteboard. So in terms of thinking about, in terms of, oops, keep messing this up. All right. So when you're looking at chords, right? As keyboard players, we have a habit of looking at chords like this. You know, chord, 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 right? And all right, that's cool. But when we break down the chords and look at them as like notes, each note has a specific destination that you can, set up depending on what you want to hear, right? So it's important that we think more in terms of lines and instead of like, blocks, because that's what opens everything up, right? So like when you hear chords like when you hear chords like this, like um like all I'm doing there is just it's I'm just using three notes, and people think that oh, you just like it's got to be more than that. It's like nah, it's not. It's not anything more than that. I'm just using three notes. It's all about how they're positioned. Right. It's a drop two. Now with learning those drop twos, just learn them in all of the other keys and stuff, and learn them as triads first. Learn them as like three note chords first. So, so as a matter of fact, one thing that I would suggest is try and play, a hymn that you know, and use only three notes. Use that drop two. You know what I'm saying? Because that's gonna make you really think about what notes you want to go next. So it forces you to be intentional. So like, right, you can do that, right? But even with this kind of voicings, you can go and choose specific paths for these notes because they're not close together like this. It's you can do something like this, or you can do something like this. Right? And again, that comes from knowing um chords and knowing what notes are in those chords. But if you work on that while keeping the melody in the song, like that's what's gonna, open up your, you know, that's what's gonna open up, the floodgates in terms of harmony and everything, because you're thinking more intentionally in terms of where you want each note to go. All right, so I hope that makes a lot of sense. Um, let's see, Justin, what's up, man? Um, oh, Carlton, what's up, brother? All right, what approach do you take with superimposing different pentatonic scales or runs over minor and dominant chords? Sorry for the loaded question, just curious. Uh, all right. So the approach that I take, um, there are different factors. One of them is, I guess, what's going on musically. Another thing is, I also listen to, um, I listen to the vocalist. Like if there's a vocalist, I listen to the vocalist. Um, I guess another thing that I think about is that it depends if I built up whatever I'm playing enough to get there. Like I'm not starting out from the jump and then just going crazy. So like, um, so like, here's the thing. So like, if I'm playing a let's see, if I'm playing no, all right, I'll use I'll use the minor chord, right? Right. So I'm using was it C minor pentatonic, right? Right. So I could stay there for a while, but then after a while, I might want to change my mind. And one way that I can kind of connect the different pentatonics is by using common tones, right? So like, um, if I'm using, let's see, C minor pentatonic, right? Let's say I want to do something, I want to build something around the E flat minor pentatonic, right? So, right, and it makes sense. It makes sense for me to use it because the E flat's in common. Now I can make things more tense and more dissonant by taking notes that aren't in the chord that I'm playing, and and then make it more interesting, right? So like let's say let's try D minor, not D minor. Let's try D major pentatonic, right? So I'm C minor pentatonic, right? Right. So now you hear how tense that sounds. Like I can kind of just do that. So one thing to think about is that notes that are not in that pentatonic scale will create more tension, right? So I can try. All right, I said was it D major pentatonic, and then I can go A major pentatonic. Right, right. So pretty much I use common tones to kind of get out of the key that I'm in, and then if I really want to go out, I just pick notes that aren't in that particular scale, so that I can create a level of tension, you know, and using patterns and stuff also you know helps that to happen too. Hold on, let me scroll down and see what I see some new comments. Let's see new comments. Thank you so much. Oh, you're welcome, Siobhan. You're welcome. Yeah. So yep. So so I hope that answers your question. Or you know what? I'll also do something with um the dominant chord for a second too. So that's like the dominant chord, right? So with the dominant chord, those pentatonics will will what is it about the pentatonic? Yeah, the pentatonics will automatically add some type of tension because the dominant chord, the nature of the dominant chord is that it's kind of unsettling because you have that tritone in there. Right, so you can use like the C minor pentatonic or C blues. Right, you can do that. Right, you could use that E flat thing like. Right. You can use F sharp minor, right? If you notice here, I'm going up in minor third. Or I can use A minor. Right? I mean, A minor kind of works because it's like C, it's like C major pentatonic, but has that flat 3 and the 3. Right? The F sharp one definitely has a bite to it. Right? Now, also with those dominant chords, you have different types. So you have, this one with the 9, sharp 9. You have this. You have so many different combinations, and you can use pentatonics on each and every one of those. So, and I can just go in and out of whatever progression or chord I want because of how versatile the dominant chord is in terms of the different options that you have. So I hope that makes sense and that answers your question. Let's see. Are there any more questions? All right. Oh, you're welcome. I'm glad, man. All right. Well, I didn't realize I was on for that long. Man, time flies when you're having fun. Um, hold on one second. Oh man, thank you. Yeah, it just showed up on the screen here. It says Facebook user, so I didn't see the name. I had to check my actual phone. Oh man, thank you so much, man. right. Well, if there aren't any more questions, uh, I'm gonna get on out of here. But every now and again, I get on live. But yeah, I'm gonna try and do this more often. Drop some nuggets and stuff. All right. So that being said, um, y'all have a good night, and yeah, and have a good night.